Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Gabby. How are you doing?
All right, Frank. Nice to hear from you again. Hey, George, how are you?
Yeah, good evening, Gabby.
George, good to hear from you. Good to hear.
Yeah, nice one.
Right. So, as the training goes, we don't intend to waste anybody's time. So yet another day. I think I will take the opportunity also to thank you guys for joining in yesterday. It was great having a conversation with all of us, and I'm sure we will keep learning from each other and build a better businesses and better country, isn't it? Right. So good. So it's 5:30 exactly, isn't it? Oh, have a minute. So maybe yes, 5:30 exactly. And like I said, we don't intend to waste anybody's time. I'm going to take you through a very interesting and ever taken for granted subject. It stares in our faces every day, in our businesses, in our dealings. And it is my hope that after this particular forum, we would come to understand certain things that happens at the back end and also understand certain expectations of those who always read our business plans or those who intend to work with, so that we get it right from now and build better businesses that will serve all of us. Right, so today's presentation is on what is a business plan and why do we really need it, okay? I believe I also need one, so I use the word we where I have you. So please bear with me when you hear we. I also want to get a piece of your pie. Right, so the content of today's today's presentation basically is to segregate the topic into syllables so that by the time we finish explaining the syllabus, all of us will come to understand the key syllabus, so that when it becomes one word, we can take you from it. Who is with that? Can get some feedback. Okay. I think it's from Justice Sofori. Is it?
Hello.
Justice, can you mute your mic? I think I'm getting feedback from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Justice. Right, so like I said, first and foremost, we talk about what a business is. It is to break the syllabus. The second is to now talk about a plan, okay? And of course, once we have understood a business and we have understood a plan, once we have reminded ourselves what a business is and reminded ourselves what a plan is, then we'll be able to establish why we need a business plan, okay? So then we'll establish what a business plan is. On the fourth of the content, we would also discuss 7 elements of a business plan. All right, that is what you need to see or what you need to put in every business plan that you want to write. The fifth thing we'll be talking about is what the reader wants to see, okay? Technically, every business plan is to an audience, okay? It's to one person or 2 persons, organization that is going to read it. And so we want to understand their mindset or what they have in mind when they call for it so that we'll be able to meet their expectation. Number 6 is why most business plan gets rejected. If you have been in an entrepreneur or a businessman for some time, and you have chased proposals or you have chased contracts in your dealings, you would understand that most business plans go and never come back with a smile. Sometimes if you are fortunate, the requesting company will give you a call and tell you why they didn't take your proposal or your business plan. But if you are unfortunate, which is most the case, they will just tell you that, sorry, we couldn't get back to you, but you will not really know why they do not call you. Today, we will try and put some light on that so that it will give you some sort of closure. And I'm sure if it has happened to you before and you hear this, you say, oh, then this is why mine was rejected. The 7th thing, which is the last thing on today's agenda, is to discuss with us how we can get help when we are writing a business plan. All right, it is very important that we know because we are not expert in everything in our own right. And so whatever we do as business people or as entrepreneurs or as professionals, we need to work together And so today I would give a direction or an advice as to how best to get assistance if you are putting together a business plan for your business. All right, so without much ado, I will quickly move to the first thing on our agenda. Okay, and it's a simple question. I am sure once you see this, everybody's in, oh, come on, we know business. We all do business. Everybody knows business. Why are we supposed to talk about business here, right? But I promise you, a lot of people don't know what a business really is. And today I'm going to highlight and put this into context. First of all, a business is defined simply as an organization or an enterprising entity engaged in a commercial, industrial, or professional activity, okay? So whenever you are engaging in any commercial or any industrial, or when it comes to professional dealings, we say we are engaging in a business. As I am talking to you now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm engaging in the business of talking with you. I'm doing a business. You listening to me is also engaging in a business of listening. However, I also want to establish clearly that a business can be for profit or not for profit. So it is not only when we are making money that we are talking about businesses, but again, or it is not when the job entails profit. For a personal bend that we talk about business, but again, if it's a non-profit or what we call the NGO usually loosely, then we are also in business. So therefore, to put this particular presentation into perspective, I am defining a business simply as a commercial activity, okay? So I am, most of my presentation will be skewed towards our normal business, as we all know it, as a commercial activity, an activity or an engagement where usually money or some sort of reward changes hands, okay? I hope I'm clear up to this stage.
Yeah, David, you are very clear.
Right. So the next thing after we have understood a business is what is a plan, okay? And everyone, again, knows or understands what a plan is. We all put plans together one way or the other. Before I started this business, I have put together a plan, or I mean the business of talking to you, I've put together a plan. I have planned that I am going to do the business on Zoom. I have planned that I have to share my brochure or flyer with about 1,000 people. I have planned that I will finish this presentation, in 30 minutes. I've also planned that I will leave a question and answer for the 10th slide or the 11th slide. Similarly, I've also planned that when you close work, you will do that. So planning is done every day in our lives. I mean, I barely know someone who has not planned. And so I will simply define planning as a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something, okay? And mainly, we plan for two major reasons. Unless, again, when we get to the open forum, somebody might want to tell me why they plan, if it's anything outside these two main things. And mainly is to assess potential risk and mitigate them. Okay, so why we are planning is just to make sure that whatever unforeseen circumstance or eventuality or happenstance that is supposed to come in future, we have calculated it and we have put together measures that will at least help us reduce those things happening in a negative way mostly, okay? And so by and large, we plan when we foresee negative stuff. Usually if we know that a thing is positive, we don't really worry so much on key planning, okay? And so that is the perspective with which I am going to put together a business plan. Therefore, I put that anybody, okay, you see this basic equation I have here, which is a model I've just designed, is that we have one side, which is a business idea, and the other side, which is answers, okay? Once anybody has a business idea, we get excited, we get enthused, we are so excited that we sometimes forget that there are certain risks or certain things that can, waiting to assail us in our deals. Therefore, we need answers, okay? You need to ask yourself some questions, and based on that questions, you provide answers. And once you are able to provide the answers, you get direction, okay? And so once we have the basic idea, you might want to talk to family and friends, you might do a survey, you might do that. All you are trying to do is to gather some answers to a question you have in your mind or a solution you think you have gotten in your mind. And once we get all these answers, the where, the when, the how, the what, the who, the why, all together, and now link them to our business, then we have direction. Now, the direction we are talking about today is what we call our business plan. So once we have the idea and we are able to answer all the key questions, then we can boldly say that we have a plan. Documentation this idea or the answers on a paper, then you have achieved what a business plan really is, okay? And so, sorry, yes, you have achieved what a business plan really is, right? So I think just a minute, okay. So the question really is, why do we need direction? Okay, why do we need direction? Why do we need a business plan? After this, I'm sure the definition of a business plan will come clear into perspective. But the question is, why does anybody have to get a business plan? Now, first and foremost, a business plan helps us assess our own capabilities, okay? Like I said, once you have an idea, there's a lot of euphoria, or maybe you even eavesdrop on somebody's concept, or you went to America, you went to UK, you went to China, you went to Kumasi, you went to Cape Coast, you heard some people talking about an idea, or you even went to eat at a chop bar, and when you saw a lot of people buying up and down, to you, the business is lucrative. Or you heard news that, oh, Dangote is worth so much, so you say, oh, then I can also start cement business. So you think just hearing it, it's a good business. But once you start putting together a business plan, you are able to assess the capabilities, the needs of this particular business, and now compare whether you yourself, you are the right fit for this particular business. Okay, so a business plan helps us that. The second thing a business plan helps us do is it helps us to steer our business from start to growth. So once you have direction, like you saw in the equation we shared earlier, you are guided as to how to move from day 1, day 2, day 3 to the 100th day. Okay, so a business plan helps us get direction from the first day to the time of growth. Thirdly, a business plan will help us communicate our ideas consistently. Okay, mind you, once you are in business, depending on what you want, you are going to be meeting a lot of people every day that you might have to explain your business or the concept to. If you don't have a business plan, you meet 100 people, your idea will be 100, because depending on your mood and your where you are and stuff, you'll be using certain words and certain ideas just to please the listener. However, once you have a good business plan, you are always consistent. What you say is thought through and it's consistent to 100 people. So when even the 100 people meet in your absence and they start speaking, they know that all they are saying is the same as you have told all of them. Okay. Fourth is that it helps us build confidence in the sight of investors. Some business plans are designed for investment purposes. And when we get there, we'll see that there are others that don't necessarily go for investors. However, if your objective is to seek investment, then your business plan will show that you are a confident person or establish some confidence in the eyes of your investors, i.e., when the investors believe that, oh, this gentleman or this lady has really thought through his work, and that is why he spent some time to put together about a 50-page document. Okay, he has understood, he has done calculations, he has done estimations, he understands the assumptions. And so the investor is confident to talk to you. But when you come and you start talking and he asks you, what is this figure? I say, oh, I think, I believe, certainly you lose some credibility, which certainly is going to affect your confidence. Fifth here is that it can help us get funding, all right? And I think from the number 4, of course, once the investor is confident, then there's a likelihood that he'll be able to extend some finance to you, or when you want a loan, you'll be able to get the funding because you have a business plan with details clearly stated. Fifth, on our reason why we need a business plan, that it exposes us, okay, to information that helps us better understand our customers. Every business or every plan that you are putting together would require that you study your market very well. So there's a research part of every business plan. And assuming you decide that you will not write a business plan, there's a likelihood that you will not do this particular research. And even if you did it, documenting it would serve as a reminder that every now and then when you pick, there's a lot of information that you'll be able to relearn and readjust and strategize. So it helps us, gives us a lot of information, our customers, so that we can design and serve them better. The seventh thing is that it helps us express our previous understanding of understated assumptions. Every business plan has projections, all right? So once you are doing your projections, it contains some assumptions that you'll be making. Or once you are planning, you have to be assuming certain things because most of the things are for the future. And so once you are planning year 1, year 2, year 3, as you move along, your assumptions are being modified or aligned just because you have a plan to be working with. And even if you are not present, anybody who picks it is able to follow your assumptions and make necessary modification. The eighth one here, which is the last but not the least, it helps you determine your financial needs and expectations. It is a very important part of every business plan. It's finance, of course, it's business. So one of the key variables, and like I said earlier, we are talking about commercial transaction. And so the key variable for everybody in a business plan is finance. And so putting together a business plan helps you determine your financial needs because you're going to be putting price to things, budgeting. And again, understand the expectations or the needs you'll be needing in future as far as finance is concerned. And so these are very 8 key things that I have summarized as to why everybody or anybody should need a business plan. If you intend doing anything in business, these are areas that you should know that if you want to do any of this, to understand your financial project, to understand your customers, to get funding, to build your own confidence, to understand and communicate better consistently, then please, you are at the right place. You need a business plan. So the big question is, what really is this thing that Gabby is talking about, plenty business plan, that it will help me understand myself, it will help me build confidence, it will help me do ABCD. What is this? So from all I've said so far, we summarize that a business plan is a written document, okay? A written document that describes in detail how a business defines its objectives and how it is going or how it will go about to achieve the goals, okay? So the business plan have 2 key things that it's supposed to be doing, okay? It defines clearly objective, what you want to do in the business, and again, it tells how you are going to do it, all right? So that is what a business plan is. Now, one may ask, what are the things I need to put together, or what are the most important things I need to put in, or what will show me that this is indeed a business plan, okay? And we must bear in mind that business plan is not done only by people who are going to do business. In fact, if you even have some money and you are thinking of investing in somebody's business, you need to understand the business plan because people will be coming to you with business plans for you to invest in. And so you need to understand what to look out for. Again, if you work in a financial institution that will be giving loans out, you certainly will be meeting business plan in your daily day-to-day activity. And so it is important that you know what to look out for. However, I believe that, and sorry to use this example, but George, myself, let me say Frank and Joyce, all of us are human beings. We have head, we have eyes, we have legs, we have hands. But probably Evelyn is wearing yellow today, I am wearing black. George is wearing white and Joyce is wearing green. All I'm putting across is that depending on the type of business and the type of project you are going to do, there are certain things that you put in your business plan that the other person who is not doing a similar business will not put in the business plan. However, since all of you are engaging in a business, there are certain things that we want to see in all of you, your business plans. A typical example is that if Gabriel or Gabby wants to open a restaurant, there's a likelihood that I would be dealing with Food and Drugs Board. And so in my business plan, you might be seeing things that has to do with Food and Drugs Board. If Joyce Justice wants to open a boutique, he wouldn't need Food and Drugs Board. And so in his business plan, I wouldn't want to read stuff from Food and Drugs Board. Therefore, what I'm going to talk about now, which is the 7 elements, is technically the 7 things that every business plan, no matter the business area, whether it's an NGO, whether it's whatever, these 7 things must run across, okay? First and foremost, we want to read about the history and the background of your idea, okay? Every business, every reader or every audience would want to see that this idea that this person is selling or you yourself, this idea I'm putting on the table, where did it come from? What is the genesis of my idea? What is the concept? Where did the concept come from? Did I hear it from somewhere? Was it my family business? Was it my great-grandfather who left me a will and wrote in page 25 that this business, I should continue? I need to know the history of that particular idea. The second thing really is that we want to know the form of ownership. Okay, how is the business ownership structure designed? Is it a sole proprietor? Is it a limited by shares by which you have 20 shareholders? Is it a limited by guarantee? Are you the sole shareholder or there are other shareholders? Okay, all this we need to get in a standard business plan. Third amongst them is that we want to know the goal and the objective of your business. And here I use company interchangeably. So the company might represent business. Okay, we want to know how your company is going to achieve the goals and the objectives that it has. 4, we want to know the products and services that you are going to offer. Every business plan, whether you are going to do a restaurant, you are going to do a cafe, you are going to build a boutique, you want to start an NGO, you want to start a school, it is a product or a service. There is no business that doesn't have any of these. If you have a business that doesn't have any of these, then I'm sorry, you are not in business. Okay, so we want to know that. The 5th amongst them is that we want to know the management and the staffing structure. Okay, who is going to manage what? Okay, who is going to be leading what? How many staff are you going to be using from day one, and how many staff are you going to be employing as the years go by? This is a very important information that you need to put in any business plan, irrespective of the industry that the business plan is going to go. Okay. Number 6 is marketing and sales strategy. Okay. Certainly, no matter the business again, no matter the industry, you need to market. You need to bring it to market. You need to talk to people about it. People must understand what your product is and how they can buy it, how they will buy the model and everything. Okay, even in our political sphere, the reason why politicians stand on platforms and talk A, B, C, D every day is to tell us that they are marketing something. They are selling an idea to us for us to hear and vote for them. The same way, if you want to build a restaurant, you need to market it for people to know this is what you are selling and they have to come and buy. The last but not the least is that you need to also now express clearly the current and projected financial statements. Okay, every business plan has a financial dimension, and so we want to know currently how is the business finance like, and how would it look like in the next 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. But ideally, we usually advise between 1 to 5 years. Then from there, you use your learnings to extend the year. So these are the 7 key things that every standard business plan must have. Like I said, now depending on the type of business, there are other things that will be expanding to add to the elements of your business plan. But the West business plan, the West must have these 7 things. If you want to even do food and you forgot to add your food and drugs board, your environmental agency and all, at least have this 7 to get the basic business plan. Okay. Good. Now, the question again now becomes, now I have a business plan, or I'm writing a business plan. I know the 7 elements. Am I supposed to tell every reader or anybody I'm going to give the business plan to the same thing? Okay, where should I focus more depending on who is reading? Okay, and so we have this model that I designed that I am sure would give us a very clear or a vivid example or an idea on how these things come about. Research has shown that mostly we look for business plan for 4 major reasons. And again, when we get to the open forum and somebody has done a business plan for another reason, probably share with us so that we can update our records. But as far as we know, we look for business plan for our personal filing so that we have a record of our thoughts and we'll be able to update ourselves or train our own mind or adjust our strategy as we go along. So 1 is for personal reasons. The second reason anybody will look for a business plan is to seek for investment. So to show it to an investor or seek an investor contribution to his business. The third thing we observe is that it's mostly for partnership. So you want to get a partner to run your business. And so you want to show your business plan to your partner so that he gets to understand things the way you understand it. The last reason, but not the least, is that we will do it because we are going to seek for loan from a bank or from a financial institution, wherever it is. Whoever is going to give you that loan would want to request your business plan. Therefore, we suggest that when you're looking for the business plan for your personal use, then you need to understand the history, the ownership. And this is coming from the 7 things that I talked about just immediately, that we need to know the history, the ownership, the goal of the business, the products and services, the team and staffing, the sales and marketing and finance. So for business, for personal reasons, you need to write all in this business plan, or you need to be detailed. And the P here, sorry, I didn't inform you, the P here is priority. So as far as it's for personal reasons, all this should be your priority. You should get details of all of them. When it comes to investors, generally investors don't really bother about the history of what you want to do. And again, it is that they want to hear, but it's not a priority to them, because investors generally believe that it might have been successful when your grandfather was running it as a family business, but you are different and it might not be successful under you. And so their attention usually will go to the ownership structure. Who is the one who owns it and who is going to run it? They are excited to know it. And again, they are also happy to know which products and services you are going to be offering. In my experience, some investors have been asking about products and services mainly for personal reasons, and sometimes because of their faith, their lifestyle or something. For example, the Islam tradition might not want to invest in somebody who is going to invest in a piggery or a bar. So he wants you to give him a clear detail as to the things you're going to be supplying and how you're going to, so that he does not put his money where he doesn't, his faith or his personality doesn't fit. So sometimes they give a little attention to that particular area. However, the 2 major areas that investors are key about is your sales and your marketing strategy and your financials. Of course, if your plan is to sell, Justice, can you help us with your mic?
Okay.
If your plan is to sell stones, or even grass, the investor, all he wants to know is, okay, is this thing, how are you going to market it? And let me know how it's going to be funded, or the financials returns that you're going to make. They are more interested in that. The third thing is partnership. Once you are going for partnership, of course, you need to let your partner know what you know. There should be little information asymmetry. And so you are looking for a business plan that will let your partner get absolute information as you also have. And so everything, again, is a priority for the loan person. On the loan side, financiers or banks are looking for you to now let me clearly understand the ownership structure, okay? You are coming for the loan, or who is signing this, what is your strength in terms of shareholding and stuff. They also want to know the goal. What is your business all about? Okay, the business you are doing, is the goal achievable? Because they are interested in how they can quickly recoup their money, or how in the next 2 weeks you won't come and say that our business didn't do well, so this, no. They want to know the goal. They want to know the product and service, because they themselves will do some analysis to know whether this product and services are going to sell or not, okay? And again, my training in Islamic finance even tells me that with the Islamic banks, they will not also give you a loan for something that is ulterior to their beliefs and their tradition. But again, when you look at the financial side, all the 4 are in red, okay? They are in red to tell us that every one of these 4 variables are interested in your financial projections. Very important part of the whole thing, because it's money. Somebody's going to put in resource, somebody's going to put in money, and he wants to get his money back one way or the other. Okay. Now, we have written our business plan. We have given it to the right person to read. We know the right person and what they want to read. We've given it to them. Most proposals go and they never come with a smile, like I said. If you are lucky, you get a call that, oh, sorry, we didn't pick you because of ABCD. But if you are usually like the way it is done in our part of the world, you wouldn't even get a call, all right? But here I want us to highlight on some of the key things why most of our business plans have been rejected in the past, if you have had that experience. But if you have not had the experience, this, fortunately for you, I'm going to highlight some of the reasons so that if you are doing it in future, or if you see one, you should reject it because of these things. And if you're also writing to someone, you should also ensure that you get it right so that you don't get rejected. Among them is that we get a target audience wrong, or is not clearly defined. And I think, like you saw earlier, investors or loan or whatever will not be interested in certain things really. I mean, that will not be a priority to them. And so you need to get the target audience clear so that you'll be able to hammer what they want to hear more for them. You don't just blanket think, oh, I'm writing to bank, the same. I'm writing to my family and friends, the same. I'm writing to investors, the same. I'm writing to the same. No. When you do that, as soon as somebody picks and you realize that you are not clear whether you are writing to him or not, they will just put it aside and move to the next one. The next thing is what I call shadowing your weakness. Generally and naturally, most people don't like to talk about their weakness, but in business, it's not like that. Most investors find confidence or feel comfortable dealing with people who have accepted their weakness. But unfortunately, in most of our business plan, people put a business plan down and, oh, they are the best people on the planet. There are no weakness at all. And even when they write their weaknesses, they are rather talking more about how they are working on their weaknesses and not what really the weakness is. Please, if you do this, there's a likelihood that investors will think that, oh, you just want to cover up and just take their money and waste it. And so they are not happy to work with you. The third thing is that we do bad research or use obsolete data, okay? Most people just collect some 2 or 3. So I have research, I've researched, and the business will work. Like I said, you go and buy Wache, and when you go to the Wache queue, you saw 100 people standing, so you think it's business, it's a good business, so you just go invest. When they ask you, oh, I've done my research, oh, even at Mine Junction, 100 people were there last week. No, that is not a research. You need to collect data, analyze the data, compare the data, and get good conclusions before you can put together a good business plan that will attract investment or attract somebody to look at. The other thing is obsolete data, okay? From my experience and where I sit, you receive a lot of people's work and they are telling you that their projections as of 1972, Ghana had 1972 in 2021, no. We are looking for data that are relevant to today's world and practical so that when somebody is giving you money, you can so use information and data that are close to now, not 1991, 1995. In 1995, yam was selling at this price, and so you're also bringing yam, all right? So it's very important we know that. The other thing is that I call it the no competition in business plans. Most people, their business plan is 100%, they are the brainchild. There's nobody in the world who have done the idea before. There's nothing like that, my brothers and sisters. Every business has a competition. Even if you are the only person bringing meat, your competition is the dogs and the cats. They will come and take it. You have competition. Every human being, even by default, we are our own competition. So you need to talk about your competition, okay? If an investor or anybody pick your business plan and does not read about competition, you are keeping him in the dark and he will throw your business plan away. The fifth thing is the undefined distribution channels. This is mostly true for people who are dealing with items or who do buy and sell or who wants to manufacture something and supply. All right, you are working and you've come up with a product and all you know is that, oh, I'll be selling 100 every week. But as to how you are going to distribute, whether 20 will go to Kumasi, 5 will go to Accra, I'll be using warehouse here, motorbikes will pick it from here. All this we are silent about. So anybody who picks that, oh, you are joking. You'll be selling 100 a week from where? How are you going to do that? So we need to always define clearly our distribution channel to make the investor comfortable and happy. Number 6 is providing too much information, okay? Some business plan, 100-page is too much information. Nobody wants to read plenty. Like I showed you, investors are not really keen or loan players are not really keen on certain information. So please be as brief as possible when it gets to that area and be more where you have to be more. Sometimes, like I said, they might not be, it's not a priority to them, but by you talking too much about your history, you give certain information that will let them say that, no, this guy is a problem, okay? Imagine you talking about, oh, my father had a business and he gave it to me and my father had dementia and he lost all our money and so the investor asked, does the dementia run through the family? Are you going to also, but if you are silent about your dementia and those things, Everybody is in business. We are good to go. So be careful the information you are providing. Sometimes too much information is also not helpful. Number 7 is that you need to be consistent, okay? And that one I think is self-explanatory. And number 8 is avoid fantastic financial projections. Those of us who joined yesterday's section, we talked about the smooth financial projection. Oh, this year I'm anticipating $1 million. Next year, $2 million. 3 years, $3 million. Fourth year, $4 million. You there, nothing is going to happen to you. These things, any investor, as soon as they open that page and they see that graph, please, you are out. The last but not the least is the one writer, one reader error, okay? It's a business plan. It is going to be handled by too many people. You're going to be working with so many people. So please, don't sit in your room as one man and write something that you think it is correct, and you yourself read through it, or give it to somebody sitting somewhere, one person to read, and you think your business plan is good to go. Please, it's an error that always lets people realize that, no, this your business plan is not well thought through. They'll throw it away. Get the right team. I prefer you do 20 people write, one person read, or one person write, 20 people read, so that the people who are writing it, everybody is attacking or tackling a different dimension of your business plan. Then you get one independent proofreader to read and verify and give it back to you as a solid document, or one person writes and you give a lot of people, professionals or experienced people, to do the validation for you. Then you can now send it out to whoever you are going to give it to. Okay, so the last presentation we have here is that you now need help, okay? Before you get your business plan or everything through, you need help, okay? And that is what SINOP does, okay? We are available to help you write your business plan, help you with your business projections, help you collect data or anything. So please try and get help. It's a professional document, especially when it's going to the 2 key persons, the investors and the loan seeking group. Get help. Let us help you do your projections and your planning and get the right document. And when you look on my screen, we have 2 contacts I've put there, the operations coordinator of SINOP and the business communication specialist. You can call them, that's their number and their emails there. Call them or send them a WhatsApp message whenever you need help, however you need help, and let us all help us build businesses that are sustainable and write business plans that sells, so that we can create jobs in our country for people to work. Thank you very much. This is as brief as I expected it to be. I'm open. Your opinions matter. Please share your opinions, or if there are any questions, ask or share your experience, and let us also learn from you. Thank you so much. The floor is open. Yes, George, your hands up.
Yeah, all right, Gabby, thank you very much for the business plan model that you've given us. So far, so good. I believe that it being more of what they call a business roadmap for all the success of the business, it is important for us to all understand some of these areas of rejection when it comes to business plan. But my question is, sometimes people are very much kind of I'll say skeptical when it comes to the costs and the technicalities and all that. At least you're giving us 7 key elements of a business plan, but sometimes the costs. So can you explain, maybe with SINOP, can you give us a rundown if maybe it is cost effective, or it is okay for people to come to SINOP and come and engage with you guys when it comes to some of these business plans? Because honestly speaking, I think what really scares a lot of people away is that, they don't even need it, because this is just, you're going to give it to people and then they'll just take your money and all that. So I'll need much when it comes to the commercial aspect of it, because it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good thing. All right.
Okay, so thank you very much for the question, George. But what we have to also appreciate is that personally, we don't even advise that, I'm sorry, you outsource the 100% business plan writing to a third party. No, even in SINOP, when you come to SINOP that you want a business plan written and I am invited, I always ask that we get the person who is going to write as part of the team developing the business plan, because it is your business. You need to speak to it. However, there are certain things you certainly have to pay for. And I think depending on the volume or the scope of work, that is how SINOP prices. But I would advise that when you look at the 7 things that you need on your business plan, for example, the history of your business, the objective of the business and stuff like that, things that you yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses and stuff, you yourself, you know yourself. Sometimes you can write that one by yourself and outsource the ones that are more data collection or data analysis aspects. So that when you collect this separately from us, that is if you are skeptical that the cost will be going too high if we compile everything for you, then you can pick this separate variables or elements and now go and merge it with yours and get another party to proofread it for you, and you are equally good to go. However, if you want to consult with us for us to work with you, SINOP, I don't know whether any of us in this forum now have worked with SINOP. Our prices are absolutely generous. And so we take our time to go through with you because like we always say, if you are in business, we are in business. So we go through together, then we advise you that, no, let's put this way, let's write this way. And our rates absolutely fine. I don't think we have a standing rate for every business plan, but like I said, the 2 numbers I put on the screen, if you call Dede and Evelyn and you discuss exactly what you want, I'm sure they'll be able to share some figures and stuff with you. Of course, we have a very basic consultancy fee that you pay even before you engage them. But at least I believe that even when you pay that, the information they will share with you or the samples or templates they will give you is equally enough. And I think it's value for money for whatever you want to use it for. I hope I've answered your question, George.
Yeah, Gabby, it's well answered. It's well answered. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any question or any contribution from anyone, any experience from anyone as far as business plan writing is concerned?
Hello, Gabby, is it okay for me to ask a question?
Dr. Yes, you can speak, please.
Please, are you able to hear me clearly? Sorry, I'm using my phone to join. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Yes, I just want to thank you for the brilliant presentation. Really, really sound. Very, very brilliant. But my question is on the 7 elements of a business plan. Okay. You know, the challenge is the last one, which is the challenge is the number 7 of it.
Yeah.
Get projected financial statement in this environment because of the volatility of the world that we are in. It can pose a big challenge. I don't know whether I'm saying the right thing. That kind of challenge, overcoming it, because sometimes even because I heard you mention that one should be able to do like a projection for 5 years. Yeah. But you find out that really in our environment, even predicting 3 years sometimes can
2 weeks. 2 weeks. I know.
You know, but I understand but I'm just thinking that what's the best way to go around it? Because like somebody will say, having the worst business plan is better than even having nothing at all.
Right.
And that's my philosophy, that having a plan is better than nothing at all. But in our environment, that projected financial statement seems to pose. I've been thinking about it. What's the best way about it?
So I think the finance people. I mean, like I wish today, of course, based on our system of confidentiality, I had a business plan to review today, and if you would see it, you would laugh, because you see what the investor, and you are right. Assuming you are an investor, certainly you would see that no, my friend, 5 years is too much, or it is not realistic. However, it tells the investor something, or it tells whoever is going to give the money something, that you are somebody who considers assumptions. So even in the first year, though you have projected that you are going to make so much, and you spell your assumptions to him, he knows that yes, there's a problem. You might not meet it, but he is just happy that, oh, this young man, this young lady, or this person is somebody who has thought about the fact that there might be there might be inflation, there might be tsunamis, There might be interest rates going up. There might be loan needed in 2 years. He also foresees that there might be a season which he cannot produce. These are some of the things that the investor or the person reading the financials is looking really for. As to how do you make 10 years, 20 years, he knows that it is quite impossible. But if you get a good financial person, finance person, which I'm sure you, Dr. yourself, you know a million, you will know that they can put certain assumptions together that whoever is reading knows that you are a serious person because you think in future, you think things might change, and so you have factored these things in your thinking, all right? But not necessarily, they are not going to depend solely on your $2 million, your 50. I just saw somebody's projection, it's very fantastic. Beautiful, you see, he's expecting about $60 million in the next 5 years, but that is his projection. But when I take my time to now read and I look for assumptions, I know that no, you are just joking. You don't know what you're talking about. But there are some can even give you that they are going to make a loss in 3 years, negative. They assume, they've made certain assumptions, and it gives investor confidence that this young man or this young lady knows what he's talking about. So yes, the system is hard everywhere in the world, especially in our side. But yes, our investors are usually not looking for your good numbers or your correct numbers. There are other things that they deduce from these things, and that is what we are really talking about. And again, to be as realistic as possible, we advise that even if you have your 5-year projection, after the first year, SINOP, we do it for other companies. After the first year, you meet together with your team to strategically now look at the reality. This is what we projected. This is what we made. Does it assume that, or is the likelihood that it's going to repeat itself next year? Then you adjust your financials. You don't put together 5-year business plan, financials, and go and sleep, hoping that it's going to be the same for the 5 years. No, then you're really going to have a problem. All right. So basically, I think that is what I would say to answer. And if it's a small business, you can even be doing every month a review of financials. Every month you meet your team. This month we assume that we're going to make 100,000. We made 20,000. What happened? Okay, let's adjust for next month. Then gradually you are growing your business. Okay, so Dr. I hope I have touched on your question.
You really nailed it. Actually, it's the assumptions that actually is the critical thing when it comes to business plan. Thank you so much. Right. You nailed it so well. It's critically the assumptions. Yeah. Right. The ones the assumptions are right, and then you review with reality as time goes.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Is there anybody who has an experience or a question? I'm more interested in the experiences. They help us add to our learning. So if anybody has an experience with a business plan that went well, or even a seminar they went, or that they told you that this was not necessary and stuff, can you share with us so that we can all learn from your experience? Okay. Frank, do you have anything to share with us? Galaxy A11. Justice, Luna, Makeda, AC. I hope I got the name right. Do you have anything to share with us?
Hello, Gabi.
Okay, Frank.
Hello.
Hello, Frank.
Yeah, we are. I'm okay with everything.
Okay.
I don't have anything to share.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right then. Like we suggested, the intention is not to take so much of anybody's time. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining. I hope you are learning, and I hope you are enjoying what we are putting forward. Tomorrow we will be talking about writing a winning proposal. Just as we've talked about business plan, we're going to be talking about business proposals. So if you have time, the same time, please join in and let us have some discussion on some of these things. Thank you so much. And please take note of the numbers as shared, and please give us a call anytime, any day that you have any questions or you need any help. Try and recommend SINOP to any company that comes to you or anyone that comes to you that needs assistance with business planning, and we are happy to work with them. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.